What's going on? What's happening, people? It's your boy KD. Let's get right into the video. I had somebody on Instagram actually ask me, KD, man, why you always got on black, man? You always wearing all black. What is it, man? What is it? I just like black, man. If you look at my whole closet, I want to say most of my wardrobe is all black. It's just easy to get dressed in the morning. I actually hate getting dressed, man. I'm not gonna lie. I hate looking for clothes. I hate trying to put outfits together. So usually I throw on a black shirt, some pants, usually black pants or khakis or jeans or something like that. But I just like black, man. I ain't really got too much else to explain about that. But anyway, man, the topic of today's video, I just had to get that out the way for the question's sake. But the topic of today's video is why you should not isolate yourself. All right. Now, when I'm talking about isolation, I mean going into that, like, people talk about ghost mode, where they kind of like isolate themselves from the world. Now, I understand there are some times in your life where you have to isolate yourself because you need to focus on what's important. Maybe you got a lot of distractions and it's holding you back from your goals. Maybe you need to accomplish something like a project, or you're trying to start a business and you really need to, just move everything out the way so you can focus. So I get that. I totally understand that. I'm not going to be naive and say, you should still be all, social and moving around and doing all this stuff while you're trying to accomplish something big. But for the most part, what I've noticed, a lot of people, they usually isolate themselves when they're going through tough times, or when they're going through a traumatic experience, or when they're having a lot of problems in their life. And especially in today's society, like I checked some stats, and y'all know me, man, I'm not really into all like depression and things like that. But I checked some stats and I noticed that a lot of people are going through a lot of mental and psychological problems. And I believe one of the reasons is because a lot of people are isolated these days, and I think COVID has a lot to do with this. It kind of programmed people to be more isolated and to themselves. But back in the past, man, I remember when I was growing up, people were more social. People talk more, even strangers. They talked more, they greeted each other more. There were more daily conversations, friendly conversations throughout the day. But I don't know if you guys have noticed, but nowadays, people are really isolated, man. And a lot of people are lonely. A lot of people are just by themselves, So that's one of the things that I really think needs to change about the world, and it's going to, bring better results. But today I'm going to talk about why you should not isolate yourself when you're going through tough times. All right. I know, some people may tell you, you need to remove everybody from your life if you're going through a traumatic experience, or if you're down, or if you're sad. I think it's quite the opposite, because isolating yourself, especially prolonged isolation, can be very, very damaging to you, to your emotions, to your psychology, just everything, man. Like, I always say this, man, we're social creatures. We're built on interactions and relating to people. So we need people to survive. If you're that type of person where you say, oh, I'm a loner, I don't need people, man, I don't know how you do it. I just don't know how you do it. Like, you need people to survive, because that is the purpose of God making so many people and so many different type of people, so you can have different experiences. Friendships, relationships, those are some of the best things in life. Especially like a loving relationship, or a really, loyal friendship. It's one of the best things. So let's get right into it. So one of the first reasons why you should not isolate yourself is your brain. What you're going to do when you go through prolonged periods of isolation, you're going to start to exaggerate your problems. Okay, especially if like you went into isolation because of these problems, you're gonna start to exaggerate these problems. Like, I know this from self-experience, and I'm gonna tell you a little quick story. Like, I went through a breakup, and the breakup, it was kind of my fault. Actually, it wasn't even my fault. Me and the girl just wasn't vibing. So I broke up with her. And immediately after the breakup, I went through isolation for a couple of months. I was kind of being a loner, kind of by myself. And what happened, and what I noticed, and I just actually a few weeks ago, and this happened like, I want to say about 6 years ago. But what I realized, I've been doing some, reflecting, contemplating, because I've been making these YouTube videos. So I want to help you guys with my experiences so you can learn from my mistakes. But what I noticed was when I was in that isolation, I started to over-exaggerate and overthink as far as why we broke up, what happened. And I literally started to make it my fault. Like Like, I literally started to think like, okay, why did we break up? Even though I knew it was the right decision for me, or for us especially, I started over exaggerating, started thinking too much, versus me going out, being social again, talking to more women, talking to more people, doing more things. People are going to tell you after you go through a breakup that you should isolate yourself and not talk to more girls. Bro, if you go through a breakup, I don't care how much you love that woman. Yes, you may need a few weeks to kind of, get your emotions together, because you probably had, a strong attachment, and, you don't want to just go out into the world and, start talking to people if you're not ready. But the moment that you can readjust your mindset or readjust your emotions, get back out into the world, start dating again. And you don't even really have to start dating, just start going to talk to people, because I guarantee you the same thing that happened to you, if you probably already haven't been through this before, I mean, the same thing that happened to me is going to happen to you. Trust me, man, it happens, because all of our brains are kind of wired the same to an extent. And when you have prolonged periods of isolation, you start to exaggerate. You start to over exaggerate, should I say, problems in your life and situations that don't even really, deserve any thought, to be honest with you. Like, I literally was sitting in my room one day, and I was like, man, well, maybe it was my fault. Maybe I could have did this better. Maybe I could have did that better. And I know for sure, now that I think about it, if I would have just got out into the world and started meeting new people, I would have forgot about the breakup. It would have been a past memory. Yeah, I probably still would have missed her, because she was a great person, but it just would have been a past memory, and I just would have moved on with my life, because I'm talking to more people, doing more things, and just experiencing and enjoying life. There's some feelings and emotions that you're going to get when you go through prolonged periods of isolation. You're going to start to be anxious. You're going to start to have anxiety. That anxiety usually turns into depression over time. And, really, to be honest, if you're a really social person and then you put yourself in a prolonged, excessive periods of isolation, you're going to start to lose confidence in yourself. Like, I don't know if you guys ever did this before and went through isolation for a long time, but like, I believe social skills is a skill. Like, it's like a basketball skill. Like, you learn how to dribble, and then, like, any of you guys ever play basketball, like, you probably played basketball for years, and then you stop playing basketball for a few years. Like, dribbling that basketball is not the same. You kind of got to get that rhythm again, and you got to get on the court a few times before you can actually get your handles back. It's the same thing with social skills. That's why they call it social skills. Everybody doesn't have social skills. So you can definitely lose those social skills over time if you stop interacting with people. And you'll notice, the more you interact with people, the more you go out and talk to people, the more you're social, the better your social skills are. Like I told you, I'm not a dating coach, but I'll tell any guy who's having trouble with talking to women, just talk to more women. Just even if you're not attracted to the woman, just go talk to women. Like, if you're at the gym or at the mall or at your work or whatever, just go talk to women. Like, just have a conversation, and then you're going to start getting more comfortable, and you're going to open yourself up to talk to more people. That's just what it is. Like, it has to be activity. Like, you can't isolating yourself, bro. It's never wise. The most depressed, or people who call themselves depressed, the people who have the most anxiety, you usually find those people as very isolated and antisocial people. Most times. Now, not all times. There are some very social people who go through these type of emotions like anxiety and depression. But usually, I want to say about 80 to 90% of the time, these people who go through these different type of emotions or mental, I don't want to call them disorders, but they just go through these things, they are usually isolated people. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. There are times where you should isolate yourself, like I said, like for the example that I use about you having to do something very important or things like that. And there's also, and I do this, there's also some times where you want to isolate yourself because you just been being social like all month, and you just need that weekend or that day or those few hours to just go relax and chill in your own thoughts. Go walk on a beach, or go take a hike, or go to the movies by yourself, or whatever the case may be. I think everybody needs that slight bit of detachment from the world and from people, just so you don't get caught up in everybody's thoughts, and you can recollect, and just build your own energy back up. You got to do that. Some people never have to do that, but most people, like myself, I don't consider myself a extrovert. I'm actually an introvert. I talk to a lot of people, but I'm an introvert naturally. So when I'm always doing things, talking to people, being social, going to events, talking to women, doing all this stuff, I need times of detachment. Like I need times where I can just chill by myself in my own thoughts, relax, kind of cool down, and then I can, recharge and then go back out into the world and do my thing. Well, another reason why you shouldn't isolate yourself is because when you're social, fellas, you find the right people. Like when you're social, you going to events, you going out doing, dating, you going to, restaurants and lounges and just being out in the world, living your life. You're gonna meet different type of people. You're gonna meet some good people. You're gonna meet some not so good people. But if you're being social consistently, this is just heightens the chances. This will heighten the chances of you meeting some really great people. Like I've met the best people in my life just from random conversations. Like I remember one day I was at the gym and there was this guy, this older white guy, and he had on some Jordans, some ones, and I wear ones a lot. And he had on some Jordans, and I walked up to him. I was like, "Damn, bro, I never saw those before." And we sparked up a conversation. He started, telling me, older dudes they want to show you their shoes. He was like, "Man, I got all these shoes." He's showing me like his closet on his phone, and we end up, being good friends. And he's actually one of the guys that helps me with my investing for my finances. And we're really good friends, different age bracket. I want to say he's like literally 30 years older than me. He's like in his 60s or 70s. But we built a good friendship just because of that one conversation about some Jordans, so be social, man. Like if you see somebody in the gym or you see somebody somewhere, and I use the gym for reference because you guys should be in the gym a lot consistently, but you see somebody at a restaurant, you see somebody at an event in a gym or something like that, and y'all make eye contact, and they're not busy or anything like that, bro, go talk to them. Go talk to them. Like, be social, interact with people. You will never know who you're going to meet just from being social or just sparking up a simple conversation. And it may not even turn into anything. It may not turn into a friendship or a partnership or anything like that, or a relationship. But just being social, it's just going to build up your charisma. It's going to build up your confidence. Like flurries of activity of being social, it's just going to build you up, and that's going to make you more eager and more confident to go talk to people. Like I said, there's guys that have trouble with talking to women. How do I talk to women? How do I talk to women? And then they go look at all these dating advice and stuff like that. Bro, if you just go talk to women, you will find out what women want to hear and what they like. Just test it out. You go talk to a girl, you say something, and then, it turns her off. That's probably something you don't need to say anymore to women. Or let's say for the opposite, you go talk to a girl, it turns her on, she give you her number, and then go try it again with another girl. And then you're gonna start to get comfortable, and you're gonna see those signs or those choosing signals or those cues to what you should say to different type of women. All right, fellas, so that's probably the best dating advice I can give you. Talk to more women. You don't need no certain type of game. Yes, you need game. You need some swag every now and then, and I'm going to talk about that on some, future videos. But you have to be social. Talking to more women is always a key to getting women. I guarantee you. Like, you never know who going to be your next chick or who even going to be your wife if you never are social with people. Well, I've already gave you, one way to, be more social and to get out of isolation. That's obviously talk to more people, but do different things. Like, man, go out, go to events, like go to your website, look up your city, look up what events they have, look up the type of stuff you like doing or the type of events you may be interested in, and go attend those events. Some of them are free. Some of them you may have to pay a small little fee to get in. Go to networking clubs, go to events, go like I'm gonna tell y'all, like, I got this pottery thing I'm doing in 2 weeks. I don't even know why I'm doing it. I just looked it up, like an ad came up on my phone. I was like, oh, that look cool, I'm gonna go do it. And I actually did it, and I'm not gonna lie, the ad had like this chick and she was kind of hot, so I was like, I might meet a chick at the pottery thing, so I got this pottery thing coming up. Like I told you guys, I do archery, and I don't just do archery because I'm interested in archery and shooting bow and arrows. Yes, it's something I'm very interested in. I want to build a skill and become, pretty much a pro at it. But I'm doing this because there's people there. Like, I get to interact with people who are like-minded, who have interest in the same things. So I'm not doing it like just to get chicks. Like, I may, win some friends there, meet some great people, and who knows what that'll turn into. But start doing more things, start going out, start meeting new people. I do talk about like not being on dating apps. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of guys waste their time on dating apps. Like, they just waste their time. They're on the dating apps all day. they're being simps on dating apps. That's what I really mean when I talk about not being on dating apps. But dating apps is actually a good way. Like, you don't have to go on dating apps with the intention of just smashing girls. You don't have to go on dating apps with the intention of simping. You can go in there just to have conversations with women and to meet them and go out on some cool dates with some cool women. Like, when I used to do dating apps a lot, bro, I met some cool women. Like, one of my girlfriends that I had for almost a year, who was really great. She was this doctor. She was cool, like laid back, my type. We like doing the same stuff. I met her on a dating app. So like I said, you don't have to go on dating apps with the intention of simping or just wasting your time and talking to thoughts and stuff like that. But you can meet some really cool women, and they probably don't even end up being your girl, or some chick you mess with. She could end up being a friend or introducing you to somebody that you may be interested in. Like, I've had that before. I went on a date with a chick. We didn't really vibe like that, but she ended up introducing me to her friend, and we clicked. So that happens too. So you got to get out there, fellas. You got to get out into the world. You got to be more social. Like I said, if you want to pick times where you want to isolate yourself, make it planned. Let it be a planned thing. Like, put it on your calendar. That's the best time to isolate yourself. But if something bad happened to you, or you're going through hard times, you have a traumatic experience, that is the wrong time to isolate yourself. All right, that's the wrong time to isolate yourself. You want to be more social in those situations, because one thing it's going to do is going to make you put your problems behind you, because you're not thinking about problems when you're laughing and talking and having fun with people. It's almost impossible. The brain can't think more than one thought at one time. It's going to go through many thoughts, thousands of thoughts a day, but it can't process a positive and a negative at the same time. It's just impossible. All right, so the more people you talk to, the more positive and fulfilling life you're gonna have. Like I said, go to events. Go, like, look up events in your city. I guarantee you that's the best thing to do. Like, I've been doing this a lot lately, and I've been meeting some really cool people. Been building some great friendships. I've been meeting some real cool chicks. It's just life. That's part of life, man. Getting out there. You don't want to get, like I always say this, you don't want to get to your 50s and your 60s and your 70s years of age, and then you regret because you could have did more. You could have been more social. You could have been more active. You could have been out in the world more. All right. So, like I said, fellas, just to recap, there are times when you need to isolate yourself, strategic times, but let those times be strategic. Don't let it be a result because of something bad happen. All right, fellas. Like, I'm telling you, this is probably one of the best pieces of advice that I can give you guys, because spontaneous isolation is never good. All right, planned isolation is great, but spontaneous isolation is never good. It's never going to help. I know you're going to get some people on, YouTube, oh man, go ghost mode, go ghost mode, go ghost mode. Yeah, you can go ghost mode for some months or some weeks when you have some shit. Like, if you just don't have your life together, and you distracted and you need to be more productive, yes, push everything aside, get to where you need to be. But I know some guys that's in a great place in their life. They got money, they got health, they're free, they're not going through any of these tangible problems, but they isolate themselves because they went through a breakup. Come on, bro. Like, man up, dude. Just go out, be social. You're gonna forget about that chick that broke up with you, bro. Trust me, you're going to forget about her as soon as you go and meet a new one. Trust me, and you might meet a better one, a hotter one. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, man, don't isolate yourself unless it's planned or unless it's really needed. Get out into the world, go talk to more people, do more things, and I guarantee you're going to get one step closer to living a fulfilled life. All right? It's your boy, KD. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Y'all probably wonder where I'm at right now. I'm actually in this conference room right now. I had a meeting earlier today. So, yeah, man, I thought I'd shoot the video after the meeting because, it was a real social meeting, so I was meeting people, talking to people. So I was like, let me shoot this video, because it's a relevant topic for right now. So, like I said, man, thanks for liking the video. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you comment, drop in, y'all thoughts on this. And if this going to help one of your homeboys out or somebody you probably got somebody right now that's in isolation and, they're not really being productive or anything like that, share this video with them, man. I appreciate all you guys. Keep up with the support. Keep going hard. Keep being a top tier man. We out of here, baby.